Happy 100,000th Model 3 made in production, up to date. To you, yeah, you know, doesn't really sound as catchy as it did in my head earlier today. But this is still a my camera lens is not big enough. Huge reason to celebrate. And yes, so Model 3, Tesla made 100,000 Model 3 cars, and I know the number kind of kept up, going up and up and up, and we kind of gotten used to seeing these numbers go up. But let me just tell you how big of a number it is in perspective and why this is important. And this goes back to the days where my channel was called Everything Tesla, where it was all about Tesla news, and myself and quite a few other people basically said, listen, this Model 3 thing is either going to make it or break it, not just for Tesla, but for the entire electric car community, right? And it had a very slow start. And, especially this year, all the negative news, Elon Musk and production issues and investigations and lawsuits, all of that had kind of overshadowed this steady number that kept on climbing and climbing and climbing. And yes, they're way behind their goals, But let's talk about 100,000 Model 3s made. Last week I reported that Model 3, first of all, Tesla outsold Mercedes-Benz in the United States, like period, in passenger cars, right? We're not counting trucks and stuff like that. Tesla outsold Jaguar year up to date already. And the report that came out, last Thursday is that Tesla outsold Porsche in Q3. And this is going to continue happening more and more and more. Just Tesla Model 3 and the Tesla as a brand, they're no longer, a little startup that could, right? They already could and they did, and they're going to continue kicking butt. Now, let me put in perspective in terms of what other companies are planning for their electric car production. And yes, I am most likely going to be switching from my Model S to the Audi e-tron, for other reasons that I've explained before. But even Audi e-tron, the production goals, it's all about rumors, right? No one's really announcing. Just like with the Porsche Taycan and many other cars, 20, maybe 30,000 a year, right? That's their production goal. Now Tesla is already at 100,000. Also, there are quite a few reports, and I think the last one I read was from Electrek.co, that Model 3 production is now being sustained at 5,000 cars per week. Now, I want to see some confirmation of this, because they really struggled to get to it, and they were under 4,000 really only a few weeks ago. But it does look really good. And if they are at 5,000 cars a year now, they're on pace to do what, 250,000 of Model S cars per year, and if you add Model S and Model X, this is major. And I guess what I'm hoping to say as far as other brands are concerned, right? And before I do that, let me just, of course, remind you guys that this show and this channel is sponsored by Avanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla, and they have tons and tons of stuff for Model 3. Actually, I'm going to do a review video on that in a bit, so stick around maybe in another month or so, just for Christmas. But there's a discount code in the description of this video, so go ahead and grab it. But back to Model 3, and here's what I'm, saying. Just this. I mean, I know I've been in Chevy Bolt and Chevy's butt lately because of, they're not selling, they're not making enough. They're complaining that, these cars are not making profits. And there will be another story later this day. And by the way, I'm doing something different this week. I'm actually going to do a video per each topic. There's going to be shorter videos, like 4 or 5 minutes or 6 minutes, but I'm going to dedicate it to each story. So you'll see 2, 3, or 4 videos from me a day. That way you can pick and choose which ones you actually want to watch. So another one later this day is going to be about Porsche, but it's just they can't complain that they're not going to be profitable, because they need to make an investment first, figure out how to do it and with a profit margin, which it looks like Porsche is going to figure out very soon how to do that. And they have to make a lot of them. They also have to make people like them, like Tesla has done with all of their cars. So there is really no excuse at this point. Okay, 100,000 Model 3s made pretty much almost this year. There's no more excuse for the rest of the industry. They need to start producing at a higher rate. So that is really, really awesome news. By the way, before I move on to what used to be a comment of the day, but now that there will be a few videos, I just call it a featured comment. Let me give a shout out to my new Patreon. Unhackable Systems is now a Patreon. Now, this is the scariest Patreon I might have, so please don't hack me. My system is probably very hackable, but please don't. But welcome to the community. If you guys want to support the show, go to patreon.com/e4electric. That link is also in the description of the video. All right, so let's move on to what I'm now calling a featured comment of the day. There are a couple of them, and they have to do with the new version 9 software that came out. And here's one from a current Model X owner, and he's been an owner for a year, pretty happy with it. And he was happy to pay for it, but he said, but not anymore after this horrible V9 update. Many of us want to get rid of our cars as soon as possible now that this disgusting pile of visual vomit has infected our usability. Now, I have to say, and to be fair, let me just, present another comment, and there are quite a few of these as well, from this one from Albert, and he says that he actually likes it, and he says that like anything that changes, people will complain. V9 is easy and intuitive. Now, I disagree. I actually don't like V9 either, especially seeing the features that were promised and not delivered, or promised and under-delivered. Yes, people don't like change, but at the same time, good user experience. And I used to be UX designer for like 20 years. The good UX is when you create an update and people don't really have to learn how to use, and there are no rollbacks to something less intuitive. So on this part, I think that they have not done a very good job, but I have never seen so many negative comments in my group. My Tesla groups on Facebook are over 30,000 members now. I've never seen so many negative comments towards something that Tesla did, especially with the user experience. So I hope they take notice, and I hope they change things around. I hope they roll out some bug fixes, but maybe hire somebody else to do their new UX. Let me know in the comment section. I would love to know if you guys are enjoying yours, and if there are any suggestions that you might have for them in the future. Who knows? Maybe they scout, the comment section of these videos. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this news. 2 more videos today because there are 2 more other news. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.